Where do we even begin when talking about Josei anime? Think of this subgenre as the more mature older brother or sister of the shoujo one. Instead of skirting about flashing animation with a continual grin, Josei is usually a little more serious and does have some character development. The issues it covers and how it treats them constitute the mature progression of shoujo Josei. Issues of juggling job and family life and how people develop throughout their lives are at the center of the stories and subjects covered in this book. So, what are the latest Josei anime? Well, let's get started. Number 10. Michiko and Hatchin. Even though she's a seasoned crook, Michiko Melandro escapes jail to track down her ex-lover, but not before she picks up Hana, or Hatchin, a little girl living in an abusive foster home who is actually Michiko's kid. She rescues her in an unexpected method, and the two of them set out to pursue the elusive guy. The film's images, soundtrack, gloomy feel, dysfunctional people, and Brazilian-esque environment all work together to create an adult tale with cultural flavor. Cowboy Bebop characters are behind this, so it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone. However, Michiko and Hatchin doesn't shy away from serious issues. And the female character's connection is the show's emotional attraction. It's unusual for an anime to represent poverty and brutality in a thought-provoking manner. Still, it reminds us a lot of the Brazilian film The City of God. 9. Yona of the Dawn. In The Princess of Kuoka, Yona has grown up with a distorted view of the rest of the kingdom due to her isolation her whole life. Her father was murdered, and she had to abandon the palace to see what was happening in the country. It is then that the princess, who is brutally awakened, sets off on a trip to his sister country Heel and return to the throne. So, this is another shoujo manga adaptation that is being adapted into a Josei anime, eh? Despite the odd humorous moments, the red-haired Yona's compelling, coming-of-age adventure narrative more than makes up for it with the remainder of the plot. Romance, retribution, and treachery all feature prominently in the plot. Thanks to the amazing Studio Pierrot animation, it's a must-see for anime fans of both sexes, not just women. 8. Nana. On a train to Tokyo, two Nanas meet, each with their own distinct characteristics. As their friendship deepens and they begin to live together, the Nanas are there for one another in good times and bad. Ai Yazawa's original manga was serialized in the shoujo magazine Cookie. Still, Nana's animation retains the rawness and groundedness of the manga. It is ideally suitable for women above the age of 25. It illustrates our unrealistic expectations of a typical shoujo story's happy endings and how not all of our wild plans pan out. Broken relationships are shown in great detail in this emotionally charged dialogue-heavy drama. Thus, it often veers into sad anime territory. Nana has wonderful punk rock music that nicely matches the story. 7. Bunny Drop. Rin Kaga, the illegitimate daughter of Daikichi Kawachi's grandpa, is adopted by the 30-year-old when he stands up for her in front of the rest of the family assembled to pay their respects to the grandfather. While he may not have been the best dad, the two of them ended up being just what they needed. This manga adaptation of Yumi Unita's manga shows a father parenting a child that would normally not relate to anime fans. Despite his naivete, in the beginning, Daikichi grows into a loving father figure as the narrative unfolds. In the Soul series, the problems of single motherhood aren't avoided. The humorous tone with a touch of Yashike magic saves it from being too depressing. Usagi Drop is stunning from start to finish as a mature anime work of art. 6. Honey and Clover. In the company of Shinobu and Takumi, Yuta Takamoto, an art student, is devoid of inspiration until he encounters Hagumi Hanamoto. As a freshman at Takamoto University, Hagumi meets Ayumi Yamada, a prominent student who happens to be in love with one of Hagami's 3 housemates. Honey and Clover is one of the greatest Josei anime out there because of its heartfelt tale and likable cast of characters. This rom-com set in a collegiate setting takes viewers on a journey of self-discovery and romance. Beautiful, surreal animation by JC staff brilliantly captures the series' artistic tone and merges in seamlessly with the soundtrack. the lovely anime version of Chika Umino's manga series is sure to please, whether you're searching for laughs or tears, or both. 5. Princess Jellyfish. Tsukimi Kurishita, a jellyfish-obsessed girl, aspires to become an illustrator one day. She is one of 5 NEETs that share a female-only housing complex, and each has a different interest. As a collective, they're known as the Sisterhood, and they're all terrified of the rest of society, particularly the more trendy types. Kuranosuke, a woman in the form of a jellyfish otaku, changes the dynamic of her close-knit group. A slice-of-life romance, Princess Jellyfish will appeal to women who are just beginning their journey into the Josei genre or have recently gotten off the shoujo train. This is a shoujo manga, although the manga's original material is a shoujo manga printed in Kiss magazine, thus it will appeal to both audiences. The ensemble of social misfits in the show is one of the most diverse and outlandish ever, and it's a blast to follow their adventures. 4. Chihayafuru. Arata Wataya, a new acquaintance, introduces Chihaya Ayase to the card game Karuta, which helps her develop her own identity in the face of her sister's success. Even though she is no longer in high school, Chihaya still has great affection for the game. Because of this, with the support of her childhood friend Taichi Mashima, she decides to form a Karuta club at her school. The anime's tone is set by the game of Karuta. Madhouse's translation of the classic Josei manga, Yuki Suotagu, has all the ingredients of a great sports anime, but it also takes time for each character to develop and evolve. Young adult ladies who are just getting out of their own journeys will definitely identify with the emphasis on self-discovery that this anime places on the story's emotional heart. 3. Nodame Cantabile. Shinichi Chiaki, a singer who is harsh on himself and others, cannot realize his ambition of singing in Europe because he is afraid of traveling. And during his time at college, in Japan, he meets Megumi Noda, also known as Nodame, an irresponsible slob who is the exact antithesis of him. His life is transformed by Nodame as he comes to terms with her. Do you not absolutely like stories in which love is found in the most unexpected places? While the characters' personalities conflict, they can overcome their differences. Tomoko Ninomiya's manga was well adapted into a heartfelt and truly amusing series by JC Staff. It's a wonderful marriage of a love tale and slapstick humor set to classical music. Number 2. Kids on the Slope. Kaoru Nishimi, a gifted pianist in his class, begins his first year of high school. Since childhood, he has constantly been on the road, which has turned him into an introvert who has trouble making friends. After meeting Sentaru and Ritsuko, things shift for him as his social and musical worlds are rocked by his newfound love for jazz. It may be a standard high school romance if you haven't read Yuki Kodama's manga, but still, it's important to bear in mind that this is a wonderful coming-of-age narrative written in a unique and exciting style, with grounded, realistic people and their progress through adolescence challenges. Jazz music complements the show's flowing animation to further enhance the emotional resonance of the endearing trio of characters. Number 1. Shouwa Genroku Rakugo Shinjuu. Yotaro Yorakutai, a former member of the Yakuza, has decided to turn his back on crime and devote himself to Rakugo, a style of Japanese comedy. He aspires to learn from Yakuma Yorakutai, the master of the craft, and he succeeds. During the course of listening to Yakumo's lifestyle, Yaturu develops a love for a lady named Konatsu, who is being cared about by Yakumo. This is Shouwa Genroku, one of Japan's best-known storytelling styles. Rakugo is homaged in Rakugo Shinjuu, a historical drama. Although this basic type of performance art is the emphasis, it does it in a non-exclusive manner. Instead, the series uses it to make subtle allusions to the aftermath of World War I in its speech. Studio Dean's clever visual design bolsters a substantial theme material, deepening the story and character depth. Well, there you have the top 10 new Josei anime. By reaching this point, we mark the end of this video. What do you think of our list? Which among the anime is your favorite? comment below. Let's engage! Also, please leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos.